So after all that fuss, Lionel Messi is staying put at Barcelona after all. Alex Kirkland joining me now from Spain. Alex, what are your initial thoughts on this turn of events?
I mean, we've learned not to be surprised by anything anymore, haven't we? It's been an absolutely incredible, 10 days now since news first broke that Lionel Messi wanted to leave Barcelona for free. I don't know about you, but I think now this whole thing looks like a huge miscalculation on Messi's part. What's he achieved after all of this noise and fuss and drama? Well, he's achieved absolutely nothing because he's staying. He's going to be there for another season until 2021, which is when his contract ran out anyway. I think you have to question some of the advice that he's been getting. I mean, if you're the best player in the world, you should really be getting the best legal advice and the best advice from your management team. And it's hard to think that he's got that. I mean, is this the final proof that you really shouldn't have your dad as your agent? I don't know. But I think looking at this, you'd have to say the answer is probably yes.
Well, let's go with his dad then and mention the statement that we saw from his dad earlier today before we actually knew this news. Tell us more about that, because it was released in Spanish. So many people were having to translate it to actually see what it said.
Yeah, this was a letter which was released publicly, but was addressed to Javier Tebas, who's president of La Liga. And it was essentially a response to the statement that La Liga put out last weekend, in which La Liga had backed Barcelona very clearly, very strongly in this Barca versus Messi row. In that statement last weekend, La Liga said, no, Barca's interpretation of Messi's contract is correct. He's under contract, it's valid, and he's got a release clause. Now, the letter from Jorge Messi, Messi's dad and agent today, was in response to that. Why that's taken so long for that response to come out, we can get onto. But it was disputing La Liga's interpretation. It was saying, no, our interpretation is correct. And it literally stated one of the clauses from Messi's contract, which says that Messi is able to walk away, and that 700 million euro release clause is no longer valid from the end of the 2019-2020 season. Now, the question is, why did they release that statement if they were then going to come out just hours later and say that Messi was staying? I think it's about PR. I think it's all about the PR game at this point. And I think the idea is that if Messi's going to stay, rather than leaving people with the impression that he was forced to stay, that he had to stay, I think the Messi camp want to give the impression, look, he could have gone. Under his contract, he had the right to go. But in the end, for the good of the club, for the good of Barca or whatever, he's decided to stay. So I think it comes down to PR.
Because Messi's adored worldwide, not just by Barcelona fans, but do you have a sense that this may have damaged his reputation, at least a small part?
I don't think so long term. I know that it's been embarrassing. I know that it's been ugly at times. And I'm sure it's been very uncomfortable for Messi in particular, especially knowing the kind of character that he is. He doesn't enjoy this kind of attention. He's not that kind of public figure at all. He does not revel in all of this, quite the opposite. So I think it's been tough for him. I don't think this is any kind of stain on his legacy long term. I think Barcelona fans understand where this has come from. I think they share much of his frustration, even if they disagree with the manner in which he's acted over the last couple of weeks. I think they can at least understand where it's coming from. And I don't think, and this is just my take, but I don't think this is going to hurt his interpretation too much. I think a lot of people look at everything that's gone on, all the chaos on and off the pitch at Barca in the last year or two. I think most people get where Messi's coming from.
Yeah, obviously, a lot of the fans are already upset with the board. Do you feel that Messi will continue to be frustrated, though, now, especially because it does seem like a win for La Liga and Barcelona in what was a battle between two sides, it seems?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think in this battle, it looks like Messi has lost out because everyone knows that he wanted to leave and he isn't leaving. It's a win for La Liga, certainly, because them losing the best player in the world, their most marketable asset, having already lost Ronaldo, Neymar in recent years, would have been huge. So it's a big win for La Liga. For the Barca board and for Bartomeu, I'm not sure. I feel like Bartomeu's reputation is pretty much unsalvageable at this point. He might have been the president who lost Messi for free. He's managed to hang on to him for one more year. But I mean, Bartomeu's reputation was already pretty much in the gutter. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is handled, though, isn't it? By Messi and by the club for the next year, basically, because everyone knows that he wanted to go. He's the team's captain. He's their best player. You've got a new coach there who's another big character in Ronald Koeman as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they handle this.
Look, Koeman must be delighted to be keeping hold with Messi, because he did ask, do I have Messi, when he came in? Because obviously even he wasn't sure. There may still be a chance, Alex, surely, that things could all turn around, because there are changes coming anyway next season. Maybe Messi will stay for longer.
I think the one thing you can say about Koeman now is that he's hanging on to Messi. I think he's also coming in as coach at a good time, in the sense that Barca are at rock bottom. The only way is up. You've just been beaten 8-2 by Bayern Munich. It's unlikely. Well, I say it's unlikely to get worse than that. I mean, let's hope for Barca and Barca fans' sake that it doesn't. But you'd think that it wouldn't take much for Koeman to improve Barca and make them a better team, and then it looks like he's doing a really good job. The only thing I would say, of course, it's great news for Barca that Messi is staying. But I do think there was an argument for the idea that if Messi has to go at some point, he could have gone. They would have saved on his massive wages. It is time for a rebuild anyway. And could they do that rebuild without Messi? And also, of course, the absence of Messi is then a ready-made excuse for whatever happens. You can say, oh, it's because we lost Messi. Now maybe there's a little bit of extra pressure on there because Messi is staying. But overall, no. Of course, it's great news for Barca that Messi is staying. And who knows? You're right. We shouldn't assume that he's going to leave next summer. I think that will be the idea. But who knows? Because it might well be that he can be convinced, and they can try and fix all of the things that we know that Messi's been unhappy about, both on and off the pitch, to convince him to stay for the rest of his career.
So there could still be a few twists and turns to come this season. But after a roller coaster ride this summer, Lionel Messi is staying put at Barcelona after all.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.